One stormy night, when the roof began to leak and fear filled the children's eyes, the man they had rejected showed up in the rain. He climbed the roof, fixing it with his bare hands as thunder roared above. From the window, the children watched the truth unfold. This stranger was not here to steal their father's place but to keep them safe. For the first time, their anger wavered, and a small crack opened in the wall they had built around their hearts. What happened next would test whether love could truly live beside memory. Laura sat by the window, staring at the empty chair where her husband once sat. The nights were the hardest. Her children Ada and Ben were already asleep, but her heart carried a quiet storm. She had loved their father with everything inside her, yet death had stolen him too early. After years of silence and loneliness, a new warmth entered her life. His name was David. He made her laugh again, he listened to her voice, and he saw her as a woman, not just a widow. Laura felt her heart beating like it hadn't in years. But deep down, she feared what her children would think. Would they understand that a heart could love twice? Or would they see her as someone trying to replace the father they lost? The first time Laura introduced David to her children, the house grew colder than harmattan wind. Ada folded her arms tightly, her eyes sharp. Ben sat at the table without a word, tapping his fingers in anger. "This is my friend David," Laura said softly, but her words fell like stones into a well of silence. David tried to smile, tried to speak kindly, but Ada's lips stayed sealed. That night, when David left, Ada burst into tears. "Mama, how could you? Do you want us to forget Papa?" she cried. Ben's voice shook with anger. "He is not our father. He will never be." Laura's chest tightened. She wanted to explain that loving David didn't mean erasing their father, but every word she spoke felt like betrayal in their ears. That night, Laura cried quietly, her tears mixing with the sound of her children's broken hearts. Days turned into weeks and David kept coming around. He fixed the squeaky door, brought food when the kitchen was empty, and even repaired Ben's bicycle. But Ada and Ben only saw his kindness as a trick. They whispered to each other at night, planning how to push him away. One afternoon, when Laura wasn't home, David came to drop off some fruits. Ben blocked the door. "Go away," he said, his voice trembling with anger. Ada stood beside him, her chin raised high. "You are not welcome here. Leave us alone." David sighed, his face heavy with sadness. He didn't argue. He simply placed the basket on the floor and walked away. When Laura returned, she found the fruits scattered on the ground, trampled by her children's small feet. Her heart broke again. She wondered if she had made a mistake. Was her happiness worth the pain of her children? One evening, a heavy storm shook the village. The roof of their kitchen began to leak and the children panicked. Laura struggled with buckets, but the water poured in faster than she could catch. Just then there was a knock at the door. It was David, soaked by the rain, carrying tools and wood. Without a word, he climbed the roof, hammering and fixing until the leak stopped. Ada and Ben watched from the window, their anger colliding with the truth in front of them. This man was not trying to steal their father's place, he was trying to keep them safe. When David finally came down, dripping wet and shivering, Laura handed him a dry cloth. For the first time, Ada whispered softly, "Thank you." David only nodded, his eyes shining with quiet hope. Weeks later, the children sat with their mother under the mango tree. Ada held Laura's hand, her voice soft but trembling. "Mama, we don't want to forget Papa. We want to keep him in our hearts forever." Laura kissed her daughter's forehead. "You will never forget him," she promised. "Your father's love lives inside all of us. But sometimes life gives us another chance to smile again." Ben looked down, his eyes wet. "So David, he is not here to erase Papa?" Laura shook her head. "No, my son. He is here to help us live, not to replace." Slowly, the children's walls began to fall. When David joined them under the mango tree, Ada shifted closer to her mother, and Ben stayed quiet but did not push him away. Love had not erased the past, it had made room for a new beginning. And in that silence, hope finally breathed again.